occurred with our slightly set that we cannot saturate the link here though. So let's see how long this survives. Maybe not so long. Had to significantly lower the bitrate. I thought this was working as usual. You have it running a minute or two live real-time RTSP or so. Feed to Google and then it breaks down. Let's see if we get someone in the audience while this may or may not connect. Maybe we make it then short anyway. Yeah, we start ready to get frame drop. Okay, so much to DSL here. However, one thing is curious that here the YouTube Studio works. The last days I had problems with this not loading in the office. So maybe it wasn't a browser thing after all. So either Google just fixed something or accidentally works here, not on our office cable DOCSIS stuff. So unfortunately not the very best connection. I hope the DSL can do more than 1.5 Mbit, but yep, there is that international travel. Stream works fine for now. Yeah, so yeah, anyway. Some updates. So of course not the most amazing setup. So first note, this Studio works here. Second note, why is this? Can't make this up. This was not. How did this happen? Anyway, let's lock and move that where it belongs. OBS. Anyway, one note. Text is slightly stopped. Same here. Don't have too many frame drops though. 300. Yeah, not amazing. Not amazing throughput, unfortunately. 447. Not amazing. Anyway, back again. Very shady stuff from YouTube. Yeah, no, actually here this neighbor's DSL is worse than I hoped it would be. That comes from trying to broadcast here propaganda material live from Russia. It's of course really, but well, we learned from Louis Rossmann, if you make a ton of random nonsense live streams, then people subscribe anyway. Anyway, yeah, I hope it's better. Somehow it isn't. Also, while we watch our frame drops increase, also time to improve German exports, but not a paid advertisement, but need to somehow make sure that the Russians buy enough German beer. How many frame drops do we have? Quite too many than I wanted. Anyway, so cheers. And also what I wanted to say, so first of all, I thought I have an external display, but yeah, so external display is there. Actually also could have actually. So this is why I'm not the greatest fan of dongles, right? Because not only does this amazing ThinkPad have HDMI, but and I have a USB HDMI dongle thing, but I did not calculate for what's the cable be? Somewhere here, DVI. Anyway, you know how DVI looks. Yeah, so you travel with dongles and cables, and then yeah, you need one DVI adapter more. Also, another note for those people who already try to download and use some T2 versions, it would be cool if you pay note to the file name, because I have someone very motivated on Twitter that I supported, and he loaded the Musel libc, and I even, actually here are some MAC addresses. Anyway, so he installed the Musel libc. By the way, you could tell me how bad the audio and frame drop situation is. And the problem is the Musel libc, I'm surprised he has X running. The Musel libc, of course, a smaller alternative C library. And certainly my own authentication or whatever. And of course, I have not tested it even with X and whatnot. And if you want to get Firefox and OpenOffice running, then the Musel libc might not be right now the best choice, because I actually part-time installed here natively on the ThinkPad for testing, and not only that, also the bugs, right? You would think in 2019 everything works, but then I don't have input devices coming up in X on the Musel system. Of course, here in this glibc, this is my portable installation here, my trusty one with that. Obviously, that works as each and every day, but the bigger problem is anyway, so whatever is up, I already checked the UDEV rules and Xorg rules, you know, nowadays all the fancy configuration files for potential auto configuration. But the bigger problem is that some stuff doesn't build. I was already, well, when he said, Musel said, yeah, you want to use Firefox and OpenOffice, yeah, preferably, yeah. So I think you probably want to reinstall, because I can't even, I thought I live stream from a Musel system here just for the testing fun, and you know, it's never enough to fix each and every regression and fun package. So here in MNT is my MNT or media, it's media, and so that is here the internal NVMe SSD of the ThinkPad for testing and Musel, and so not even Qt compiles. And the error is, if you, and also here somewhere there, and let's see how many people do we have. Frame drop, 9% frame drop. Dave used to use Chromecast for a second monitor in the hotels here. Does the audio at least work for the rest of the slideshow? I hope. Anyway, yeah, so actually not a hotel, I already flew this display from our office. This is a student display of mine. I flew it here already last year. But yeah, the thing is, this is also with the dongles. I also forgot here the Ethernet dongle, which, yeah, also the Sun key, but obviously this is so much more amazing in the office with this extra Sun keys than, yeah, Ethernet dongle here. I left it in Berlin, and actually though also of course this, actually no, maybe I've actually intentionally left it in Berlin because I have this travel dongle, just that I didn't really think that this is HDMI in the too, and yeah, so HDMI, DVI cable, of course nothing adapters and dongles can solve, but whatever. And yeah, so the other point, you might have seen yesterday's stream with build errors like GNU-org and fun stuff like that. And so if you take a look on Qt fails on configure, so this of course in a regular glibc based system, the regular GNU C library, this just works, no problem. We are running this here with fancy Qt5 in OBS, obviously, with 9% frame drop. But so you see here this fails. Error feature XCB was enabled, but precondition feature threads and features XKB common. Libs XCB failed, and I tried 10 minutes to figure out what is wrong with this. So this only, again, of course, not everything in T2 is broken. This is just the Musel flavor, which even for me is new. Only for YouTube here the last 12 months I've step-by-step added and improved support for that. And yeah, so this is just like, if you build this with Musel, then whatever, you need some patches. And I hope I have it here still lying around somewhere, like Qt. And don't, okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, so I looked here into this config log something here. So, and I don't find here threads something. And I even grabbed here, that was, I think that was, let's see, what was it even? My point being is that so much time, so first of all, my point being, this is my life, right? Yeah, maybe I actually probably switch more to feature mode the next weeks because I'm getting a little bit tired of fixing all esoteric combinations. And then also the build systems, right? Everyone, yeah, Meson and Ninja is amazing. But then even this QMake and whatnot, their own configure stuff, in a configure, yes, it's not pretty and it can also be annoying, but at least you know where you want to look at. And here I even grabbed this, so let's, what have this? So this was, for example, so I guess there is some like header or library thing. It's testing for slightly different. Of course, Musel support threads or whatever is up, maybe a little bit cleaner, a little bit, I don't know what. But even if we grab here for feature threads, I have not found here many occurrences. So maybe this is like stacked here somewhere. Of course, here is some conditions, but these are only conditions like that fail right now anyway. And I looked here in a couple of files like that. Actually, what am I showing? And yeah, so much to alternative build systems, right? Everything is amazing, except if you want to compile it yourself. And well, it is amazing as long as it builds. And I have the same problem with Meson and Ninja. Yeah, it can build something, but if it doesn't build anything, then good luck finding out what's wrong with that here. And yeah, so if you download stuff from the T2 servers, yeah, welcome. Hi there, we're talking about your Musel installation. You probably want to rewind. So yeah, you probably want to reinstall. I couldn't even in one hour get here some basic stuff working beside. You just wrote, I saw your tweet here on Twitter, that you just, so because I'm a little bit, okay, XOR configure, I've not tried that. So I'm running more with auto configure, like without much config, which is quite nice if you plug your SSD in and out of a couple of devices here, like this, right? But nothing is a paid advertisement here. And so, yeah, I could try this if that gives me a pointer, but the thing is, so you probably want to reinstall. And the warning is, if you download something, maybe we need to make somehow a better job. Maybe if we release more often, this issue will not arise as such, because then the files will be more systematically present, that people do not accidentally download a Musel libc thing that might not have the features that they were looking for. Yeah, so that is a short update, dongle situation, and actually a pity that the neighbor's DSL here is not as amazing as I thought it is. Anyway, hope the audio wasn't too bad and the video was halfway decent. Also, at least we have learned with our own live stream here that the dashboard, so much too, it's our broken Linux, so you see the dashboard magically worked again as per the beginning of the live stream, whatever. So maybe it's a network issue, maybe some small glitch in Vodafone Germany DOCSIS routing. So yeah, works in Russia. Hope you enjoyed this quick update. Actually, I wanted to stream a little bit more, but I think it doesn't make so much sense. But maybe leave me in the comments right now how crappy the video feed is here. Until then, cheers so far. Yeah, with feature mode, I mean, I will probably spend more time implementing more code, because that is probably a fun fact and summary of the last decade. Or last 2 decades, I probably spent too much of my life fixing other people's open source configuration situation here, and I probably want to go more in more real code development mode. BZ microkernel or our UI and all the other fun stuff. Christian, Moscow, you travel as much as I'd like to do. Yeah, I'm not voluntarily here though, and also environment, right? I could travel much more, but actually 90% of the time I avoid this, not only for my time, but also time and money and environmental reasons anyway. Although Moscow is closer to Berlin than you think, it's only 2 hours 50, I think officially, usually more like 2 hours 30 something. Anyway, yeah, it's not as amazing if your neighbor's Wi-Fi is not as good as you thought and you don't have your dongle here for your HDMI thing. Can't travel with, the irony is I actually travel with a HDMI micro cable here for the camera capture. Anyway, yeah, so random live streams, just as we learned from Lewis the solderer Rossmann. If you have any questions to this situation, so yeah, unless of course, well, Musel is quite nice. In general, that is small and compact here, but it's not fun. So the thing is, for normal users, I think even for me, at least I need for the YouTube work OBS, and that means Qt, unfortunately. And the other thing will be Rust, right? Unfortunately for Firefox you need Rust. And this is also then the binary only stuff. If you want to run some binary only stuff, that might then obviously not start with another alternative C library. Yes, so traveling overrated. I personally rather like to get stuff done, and when I travel, then usually I get less stuff done. And yeah, I really wonder how broken this stream is, though. Maybe I should watch it myself. Maybe leave me a comment right now how broken it is. Is it watchable, or should we just call it a day because it's too broken anyway? Let's see. Check how is it going. Actually, audio doesn't look. Or is audio stopping? Not. Anyway, it doesn't look too bad. So, well, we could. So the problem is, I googled, of course, Clear Linux might. Was it Clear Linux or Alpine? Some have a patch, but leave me in the comments below. Of course, I tried to simply disable XCB for now, but that failed differently. It started to compile but failed, so not much worse there. And yeah, so there you see how much work it is to keep all these alternative configurations compiling, or keep or get compiling. Fun fact, this Musel, another lesson learned, by the way, as long as we hang out here together. So I booting this, I have this full disk encrypted because this is the amazing Lenovo Loner laptop here that we still have for a couple of more weeks for long-term testing. And I installed this Musel here on the NVMe. And so what did I wanted to say? All right, so nice ThinkPad obviously for the views, and because I always, especially in Russia, but also in the United States and such, I would travel with full disk encryption. And for that, of course, I have this full disk encrypted also, that I send it back to Lenovo, that even if I forget to erase something, then I don't give them any of my precious data and SSH keys and whatnot. And so doing this, I realized that the Musel initRD couldn't, it had all the files, but it says with this crypto setup so this works obviously in the initRD with the user space tools like crypt setup, like LuxOpen, NVMe 0 N1 P6, for example, and then mounting this, and so crypt setup wouldn't work. And then obviously I debugged this as one should do, and the reason this didn't work, actually all the files, it said libraries not found, like lib device mapper and stuff. And fun fact, it tried, it wanted to use them in user lib, 64, but they have not been there. And is it even, I think it is on screen. And then I figured out, so I will probably tweak this Musel stuff a little bit more, and that is also why we actually, it's good that I test this, and also good that random new people test this stuff. But probably you want, unless you want embedded and be experimental and such, stick to the proven stuff. So it turns out this Musel libc needs to look in any other directory except user local, apparently, I guess. It needs here this ld musel conf, that in glibc you have here ld conf, and that is the list of shared library files, and usually the default ones should work, but somehow I think in glibc apparently, I think we actually could check this sbin mkinit rd. Do we have an ld so? No, we don't. So with glibc this just works, but Musel would not look for these other library locations. Actually, maybe, so for a quick test, because I certainly wanted to boot full disk encryption, so I quick hacked this, and maybe the easiest not to have to deal with all the libraries that might want to look in might need other of this configuration files. Maybe I just change the initrd to copy everything to user lib to avoid this or something of that sort, because I don't really want to hard code there for all the different C libraries, what other different etc support files need to be there. And I found even a bug in sbin in initrd init. That is the init script that is run by the kernel. When the initrd starts, of course, these are the normal programs. The initrd is, of course, when you don't want to compile everything into your Linux kernel, especially if you have hundreds of modules for all the different kinds of SCSI and IDE and other fun hardware, network hardware and whatnot. And so even I always wanted, even when I always compiled for myself, I wanted my fully modular kernel to have everything that I could ever wanted. And then it's not practical to have a 50 megabyte kernel image or something. And so this is why you would normally want an initrd that nowadays also takes care of stuff like setting up full disk encryption and other logical volume management stuff. This is why actually you would want an initrd. Actually, you don't need this with Linux. A decade ago, I usually didn't have one. And so even today, you can boot without an initrd, for example, on the SGI Octane or PS3 for testing. So this is only fully optional if you want to do either everything modular or optional features like this. And I had a bug in mk initrd that one of the root prefixes here to copy with a cross build with stuff from the sandbox. One root here, really one that I recently added apparently for crypto setup or something. Yeah, here this one, I guess. Yeah, so for X and all of this, maybe this should be done. Anyway, so this was not the curly but normal. Oops. So this was this, and this even issued an error that I always overlooked. Maybe sometimes I saw it scrolling by because this executes root and instead of expanding the variable root. And I fixed this anyway, so usually I don't like this. I don't really recall why we have done it like this. So now in trunk all this is more readable, I hope. And this one small typo is also fixed. The fun stuff that you fix in between all the other stuff. Yeah, not too many comments. So this is a little bit summary of today. Flew here, got a stamp in my passport, did some stuff, and now we enjoy a beer together, which certainly we don't endorse alcohol or drinking, but anyway. After so many build errors the last weeks, I guess that is probably deserved, I hope. If you have any questions right now, otherwise we, with this kind of neighbors, I think the neighbors, comrades need to upgrade their Bolshoi. What is it? Internet anyway, because not as amazing as I was promised. Anyway, not really sure if they were aware that I wanted to live stream. Anyway, always fun to use the neighbor's Wi-Fi, and Yeah, so probably not too many more questions, but this is just here what I will probably do, because I even diffed the files. So I even copied some config files over for Xorg, so I've also totally no idea why it comes up, like Xorg comes up, but no input devices work. And I had this already before, a couple of years ago, when they started to add auto configuration. Nowadays, Xorg also has device hot plugging and stuff, and it uses UDEV and dbus maybe optionally, or Halo, I don't know. And I had this already, and I somehow fixed this some years ago. I'm not really clear why right now I have this issue again. But yeah, anyway, I will probably maybe take a look. But this is really a pity with Qt. And also, yeah, there you see my grief with these huge packages. Qt, I have here quite some downloads, of course, and this is when people argue with me, download size doesn't matter with Rust and Qt. I travel here with 4.7 gigabyte of sources on my portable SSD here, and I should have in Berlin run download all, but somehow I haven't. I thought I work so much on this portable SSD that I thought, yeah, most of the sources will be there. But of course, not the very latest Qt and Rust and stuff. And this is also the problem with the Rust package, right? That if I emerge Rust now, it starts to download sources. And even if it fills, and this is why I don't want this Rust package doing its magic stuff behind my back, because then I don't even have the sources in the cache. And if I need to fix something and tweak until it works, it always downloads this again. So yeah. This is why I want better integration. Moscow is as usual, lots of traffic, and I usually enjoy more clean air in Berlin. This is why sitting there is actually quite nice. Larger streets here, 6 lanes each side, lots of SUVs standing in the traffic jam, and yeah, very true about the current Rust bootstrap situation. Yeah, I made a couple of videos already, but usually I start Flame Wars with this. But this is also, yeah, why I'm not the greatest fan of dongles and this download situation, because some people, even although you have internet even here obviously, but you see it's not even great as where is even our OBS? Yes, our OBS, 7%, somehow. Anyway, what else do we have here? Somehow the scrolling with the zooming is somehow not the most amazing, I have the feeling. Anyway, I guess we discussed most of the stuff. How many? Yes, somehow the scrolling is not amazing. So far, half. Why is my English or my Russian good enough, especially if you need multiple tool chains? So this is the first half beer, live on YouTube. Everything programmed around the ridiculous assumptions that live here. Even it doesn't have to be Russia, although obviously they can do technology here and stuff. But it's even sitting in a conference room at a customer, going by train. I mean, at least the internet here is better than in a German railway. Or at an airport or in a plane, which, by the way, fun fact, people next to me on the flight looked a little bit strange. I was installing T2 and shuffling with USB, because obviously it wasn't even booting, right? So in the plane I was playing around with eNetRD and booting back and forth and fixing there with NVI my boot procedure, always getting a little bit waiting for the day that they report me for suspicious activity during the flight. Yeah, so that is that. Mostly, of course, the usual thing. So more people, by the way, this is not from Trump's alleged PP tape, not that people get here ideas. That is a German quality import product. And yeah, so X, but for this I need to reboot anyway, could fix a couple of build issues, but maybe I rather enjoy the night now. By the way, time zone +1 hour, I think, if I recall correctly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, cheers, Skoll and Nastrovje, and hope to see you soon. And let me know in the comments below how you like this. Well, maybe it's not too bad, I guess. Maybe people like to see other people drinking or random short summaries. At least this live stream was most likely significantly shorter, except the not as amazing outgoing video bandwidth. But otherwise, a short summary of today. What did we install? What did we hack? What did we found? So always a small thing here and there, a typo here and there. Also, another lesson learned. So one lesson learned: always count all your dongle cables. And another lesson learned: if you see something random scrolling by, because this mkinitRD root thing I could have fixed probably 6 months ago or 4 months ago. I've seen this command like root command not found a couple of times, but it was always like, yeah, what the heck is going on? Like, yeah, not important. But yeah, if you see something strange scrolling by, maybe take a look instantly, because otherwise you will find it a couple of months later when you actually want to fix something else. Yeah, but we're getting there, live on YouTube, fixing some random warning each and every day. And yeah, let's see, maybe I in some minutes take another look. Also, if you know here, if you are a Qt specialist, then you can let me know where this would be here in user source and in source Qt, where I would find here this stupid test that I already grabbed for. And yeah, because this is my grief with modern build systems. I understand there needs to be some choice, but there have been like 14, you know, this XKCD something or so comic, 14 or 12 crap standards, and then they make the amazing new standard, and then there are 13 or whatever n+1 not amazing standards. So yeah, I'm not a fan of spending my time looking for these build errors and where they randomly come from. Thanks for watching. We have another comment. Specialist, Fortran specialist. Okay, that is good. If we hack Fortran, we come back to you, then I know where I find you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave me in the comments how do you want to see random live updates and live streams, or only stuff when the neighbors have better Wi-Fi and stuff like this. Yeah, 4,000. Well, this 4,000 drop frames are with a totally decreased bandwidth, right? I already dialed this down from, where would that be? Output. Yeah, 1.5 Mbit. So yeah. Anyway, you got the idea. Thanks for watching. Baka. What was the other? Damn, half a beer and I forget already the 5 Russian sentences I can say. Do svidaniya probably. So yeah, do svidaniya, Baka, Nastrovje, and may I ask, what is your office blurred out in? I have no idea why my office is blurred out. But I didn't blur out our office in satellite, the street view, or I don't know. But if it is even the right location, when we moved, Google didn't update. We have done nothing, but you can report in, maybe some neighbors have reported that they don't want to see their neighborhood in Google. So I have done nothing, but no idea. Do you mean the street view or the top view? But in any case, we have a cheapskate office. Nothing much to see, and yeah, not even the wall is fully painted because cheapskate. Maybe we paint it soon for YouTube. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon. And street view. Yeah, I never took a look there, but it's there are also people living and stuff. So probably someone of those people living there reported this, as I don't want to have my home in street view. It wasn't me. No, actually, I don't really want to have people coming to the office though. I want to concentrate on work. They should write an email. No personal interference with concentration and stuff. So that's it for today, citizens of the internet. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. And yeah, probably all normal users unless you want to do special project stuff, install glibc builds. And what did I recently test? All right, I still need to test this. Anyway, tested some stuff, fixed some bugs, and more stuff to fix. And see you soon for the next stuff and live stream stuff to come.